Hey, good evening, good evening, good evening. Can you guys hear me? I know there's a couple of people, I guess, looking in already. Check my audio, so it says I'm speaking. I'm probably speaking pretty loud. Welcome to the Black Man Unfiltered Network, and we're going to talk about what people have been talking about for the last week or so. The jeans commercial by Sydney Sweeney and the Snow Bunny DeJour. you know, and I think we should have fun with it. I think the one thing, if somebody asked me as a joke, what does liberal white women have in common with 92% of black women out there? You know, Sydney, they hate Sydney Sweeney because she's got good genes. It's the most ridiculous thing ever, and it's just something, another thing to complain about. And some women have absolutely lost their minds, but it's bipartisan. Right? We got as many white women losing their minds over this commercial. Most of them, you know, unattractive with bull rings in their nose. And unfortunately, too many sisters following suit with the bullshit. But anyway, so we're going to talk about it. There's a lot of little clips. We're going to show a little bit of, I'm going to introduce a couple of conservatives that have a position on this that I haven't talked about on this channel before. One male, one female, and a lady one. She's got a growing podcast that some of y'all haven't heard about her. Her name is Carmen JC, and then the brother's name is Greg Foreman. He has a conservative perspective, so they both hit some of this stuff. Uh, we're going to show how some other races deal with this situation, and then we're going to show how some black women deal with the situation. And then, of course, as is my way, I have a little surprise little tune for everybody at the end. So whoever's here, when all of this is said and done, you're in for a treat because I think it's actually one of my best. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, uh, so we should have some fun with this. And listen, what I want people when you come into the chat, when you finally get here, tell me what your impressions are of this commercial. I know what mine is. It's just like it's water. It's not even a big deal. It's a jeans commercial. It's marketing. It's a contrast to the woke mob that used to run this country, several years ago. And thank God all that shit is over. Well, it's not over. That is not in charge. Let's put it that way. Because it could run come rushing back in if Trump messes up, and they put some Democrats and liberals back in office. We'll be right back in the muck and mire, and it'll be crazy. It's going to come back like a tidal wave. Women and men and women's sports, praising the flag, the rainbow flag, and watching what you say and firing people over misgendering folks by accident. All kinds of bullshit will be right back front and center. So, two big ass bearded, ugly men kissing each other on TV, tongues out and shit. You know, so you listen. So you can't really get too complacent that that stuff is going on. Hey, listen. First of all, BMU. Let me tell you. It ain't no damn funeral music. Okay, this one is gonna be it's popping. It's a good one, and I got a lot of chuckles out of it, and I think a lot of people will too. Anyway, so I mean, I got a lot of little clips that I want to say. I don't know if 100 Watts didn't tell me was he going to pop up or not. He might. He sent me an email, so I thought he might have popped up. So we'll catch him when he gets in here. He might be out there working, hustling for a living, like a lot of you guys are still doing, which I'm proud of you. You keep on going. You know what I'm saying? Don't stop on account of me. When y'all get to to retirement, then we could talk about how to be leisure and find something else to do. Anyway, so listen, there's several clips I want to show of the little snow bunny, Sydney, and then it's just a couple. Then the one that really started the fire, right? So she has a bunch of these ads out, but I think it was one that really, really touched everybody off. So I'm gonna just play a couple of them first, and then we'll get to the one that everybody's mad at. You know, hey, what's going on, Curtis? Hey, let me see what you got there, man. Thanks for the 9.99 spot, man. That's great, man. What's up, Mr. Boomer? You know, this was AEO AEO jeans. Okay, American Eagle. It was official jeans. Thing is real stupid. It is so stupid. The only women lashing out against the ad are jealous, fat, ugly, liberal women who desperately need victimhood or victim food. Victim food. Yeah, that's true. It's true. And even if they're not fat, and even if they are cute and they're misguided and they're just liberal and they need something to talk about, there's two words that they talk about. Really, the one word that I really have something for also is when they use words like eugenics, and we'll get back to that too, because that's the one that really irks me when I hear Black women or women in the West, all these liberal women talking about eugenics is the last word they should ever use since 1973, when 63 million of them have marched into Planned Parenthood and deleted children, future leaders, future governors, future poet laureates, future scholars. And, as far as I'm concerned, if I can remember, or I haven't heard American Eagle deleting one of them, right? They haven't lashed out against one child at all. But the women who complain the most, they're deleting them in droves. And the 20 million deleted by Black women, of course, they need to shut up. So that's a stupid thing right there. So there's no eugenics program going on. The one that is really out there is Planned Parenthood. All right. I got you, BMU. I saw your message in the back. Anyway, hey, little time. How you doing? Somebody else popped up. So let me go ahead and just start the clips, because there's a few clips I have, but I just want to hit the first one, and so we can get some of them out of the way. Some of the ads that started this whole thing. Where's Sydney? Here's one that started it, and this is not the one that started, but this is one of them. Is so benign that I can't even see how people got mad at it, but they did. Right. So let's go ahead and get it started.
Hi, I'm Sydney Sweeney, and I'm from Spokane, Washington. I can work as a local hire as well, though, and I'm available for the American Eagle jeans campaign shoot.
Profile and hands, please. Thanks. We'll be in touch.
Sydney Sweeney, Hasbury Jeans.
Next.
All right, so people got mad at that one, which is like crazy, How you get mad at a stupid commercial like that? But there's more, so I'm gonna just go ahead and go through them, and and then if y'all tell me what y'all think about these commercials, and if anybody should be upset about any of this stuff.
Sydney Sweeney, Hasbury Jeans.
Oh man, I mean, listen, I'm just thinking that in the grand scheme of things, if I saw this commercial, I'm trying to figure out what would with all the things probably going on in your life, or somebody's life, how could you possibly get upset over a commercial like that? Or any, because she's a white woman, because she's got blonde hair. Well, it's enough sisters can't be arguing about a woman with blonde hair, because I think for most women, when I see Black women in blonde hair, is it cultural appropriation or cultural misappropriation? Because most Black women look horrible with blonde wigs on. I mean, they look absolutely horrible. Now, you got lighter skin, certain tones. We know your hair ain't blonde, but maybe you could pull it off. But some of these sisters with these blonde wigs are just absolutely horrendous. And so why would they? So are they mad at a woman who's naturally blonde because she's got genes that made her blonde? Maybe, you know. But all right. So here's the one that got everybody upset. Well, not everybody. Everybody who's going to be upset. So let's get to the pièce de résistance. This is the one that set off the firestorm.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
That's the one. That's the one. Just that 31 seconds. 31 seconds have set the whole internet on fire with folks who wanted to just scream. And I would imagine there's got to be some way to probe, to put it in perspective that you're going to get a certain amount of people who use social media to get mad at anything, you know, for clicks and views, for things of that nature. And then there was people who came out and tried to actually, you know, do some kind of analysis and saying, well, this is like Nazi propaganda, like there's a new Hitler out there. And then they talked about eugenics, and we touched upon that a little bit. And, you know, so there's a couple of folks that I wanted to talk about that kind of approach this, you know. Oh, before we get going, I'm going to just segue for 1 minute, because following up Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle, right, there was a Dunkin' Donuts ad that kind of put fuel to the fire. But it's a man, right? And men are generally, I haven't seen any men, any real men, whatever that means, or any man's men talking about this ad, because it usually bounces off our back. But there was one liberal white man I saw complaining about the ad. But I don't think any brothers that I know of are going to give a shit about a guy with a Dunkin' Donuts. I thought he was a little zesty. Personally, I think he's a little zesty. He might not be, right? Because he's probably banging out the chicks 3 at a time. But he talked about genes in the Dunkin' Donuts ad, and just to add fuel to the fire. So let's play his ad.
Look, I didn't ask to be the king of summer. It just kind of happened. This tan, genetics. I just got my color analysis back. Guess what? Golden summer, literally. I can't help it. Every time I drink a Dunkin' Golden Hour refresher, it's like the sun just finds me. So sipping these refreshers makes me the king of summer. Guilty as charged. The Golden Hour refresher. Only a Dunkin'.
You know what, man? Every time I hear the golden hour, I just think of golden shower. You know, I think of like, are they giving out golden showers? What are we talking about? But, you know, so it's golden hour, and people are, you know, kind of raging about that. But of course, men don't behave like women. Well, they shouldn't behave like women. So it's not the same outcry that it is for a little 5'2" white girl, if she's 5'2", white girl, making everybody go crazy. You know? So anyway, so I wanted to put that out there because that ad came out, and Dunkin' Donuts is getting some heat for it, but they don't care, because maybe they might have to care. Dunkin' Donuts might have to care because people who might be mad, they're fat, right? So most of them are fat and out of shape, and they probably eat a lot of donuts. You know, so maybe Dunkin' might have to worry about it. But the gene commercial, they don't have. They're ignoring all of this bullshit, man. They really are. You know, they're not pushing back, and they're not crumbling under this thing. It's all marketing. Now, anybody who's out here want to come up and talk about it, that's fine. But it's all marketing, you know. And it's about how to bring not only blue, but green into the markers. Now, there is a clip that I did of a lady doing an analysis of how advertising works and how we should look at advertising. And even though I think it's has been kind of done before, but the double entendre about genes and, of course, biological genes. That's a good ad, and people, and they're making money on it. Their stock took off. Their stock took off. It's one of the best advertising campaigns. And the only thing that would hurt them now is that they issued an apology and they try to back down to the woke mob and all that shit. And they're not going to do that. And, heaven forbid that they don't do that. I'm surprised they ain't come out with a big middle finger up and saying to all the woke people, just kiss my ass. That would be nice. I'd be happy about that one. So anyway, so here's an ad about a contrast to their marketing in 2019 from a lady named Sabby Sabs. And she said, hey, listen, here's what they marketed when they were woke and they were trying to appeal to, listen, we got to love everybody. And you could be a big behemoth and you look good in jeans and you could be, whatever you could be, so here we go. And it's about advertising, but watch what this lady says about let me just get to it, because she can't say what she should say. And it's unfortunate that we can't really say what we really mean. But here's this ad. Actually, I didn't have to do that. Let me click it. Go back. Share it. That's it. All right. Oh.
2019 versus 2025. Now, this was the ad that American Eagle had in 2019. Notice the difference. It is a voluptuous.
See, this is my problem. That's not no way. Maybe that's a woman's politically correct. This is not a voluptuous woman. Okay. A voluptuous woman in a man's eye is a very attractive, sexually appealing woman that has some size to her, but that's not voluptuous. This is fat, right? Just like me, fat. I can't go to GQ and put on a suit and say I'm GQ. Let's just call a spade a spade. Now, this is in 2019, when the woke mob ruled the world, we had to include everybody in this thing, right? She also had a Jaguar. Remember the Jaguar commercial when they had all the transvestites come out? Their sales are down 90-something%. 90-something%. So do you think she sold as much jeans?
Black woman in their jeans. Now come 2025, they have a thin white woman in their jeans who is also doing the comparison between physical jeans and her actual jeans, like her eye color. In 2019, when American Eagle had this ad, they were trying to reach a certain demographic. That is how advertising works. Now, whether or not you like the ad or you agree with it or not is besides the point for the company. If they can get you to talk about it, then they have won. If they can get everybody in an uproar about it, I'm going to show you this.
All right, so you hear what she had to say. But let's put it this way. I can guarantee you, because Patrick Bet-David did a comparison of the marketing money that was made on ads like this for the big woman against an ad like Sydney Sweeney. And there's no comparison in terms of the return on investment, because the truth of the matter is the demographic of the white girl is a whole lot larger than a big Bertha. Even the big Berthas, I don't know how many big black women went to American Eagle to buy their jeans. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. And, here's one thing. It's another thing. And this is my own personal thing. One, it's almost anything to try to change the perception of what men think are beautiful, right? Because men, when they advertise sexy, they want something for people to aspire to. Men like sexy based ads. We just do, right? You got to draw the money out of men, right? Even if you want to buy jeans for your woman or a negligee for them, you want to have something sexy. Even Victoria's Secret said, listen, we were doing plus size models. Our company almost went out of business. Because we're trying to push this woke shit. And that's not what people want to see, right? So they had to stop the show on CBS because nobody wants to see huge ass women walking down the goddamn aisle. Maybe there's a couple, and black men, you know what? We got to take a hit for it because when we're down bad, a lot of black men, they take advantage of big black women. And there's a couple of guys who might be well off, but it's a one-off. It's just true. Most men, in general, if you make it, you want a nice honey on your arm. It's as simple as that. And we can't lie about it. Let's just tell the truth about it. That's just the way it is. So we gotta come to grips with reality. So American Eagle says, hey, it's a new world out there. It's a new world. We don't need to worry about our EGA or EGS scores, what those things are, our DEI scores and all this horseshit. We want to market to the best audience we can, which get a best return on our buck. And that's what they did. That's what they've done. And it's as simple as that. Right. So there's a couple of things I wanted to show you and talk to you about how people are dealing with this thing. Right. So we're going to go through, a couple of minutes where we'll see how some of the people are, I guess, pushing back against the ad. And this is my man, Greg Foreman. He has a couple of, it's like 3 minutes worth. And I'm going to go through some of the people, white women, and every time I see a woman with a bull ring in her nose, I can't hear what she says. I really can't. Because it already tells me all I need to know about that person. And even if I listen, I'm saying, oh my God, I gotta put up with the bullshit. All right, so let's go.
Time to check the pulse. We begin with the backlash over a new ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American eugenics movement in its prime between 1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
American Eagle stock has been soaring.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
That was, of course, Doja Cat. And she's been in the mix because she has a whole bunch of issues with her race as well, right? So how was she speaking? The lady who was talking about eugenics that back in the 30s, well, the eugenics program is alive and kicking in America. And I said it already. It's not going away. When you're talking about desirable genes and trying to make people for the best genes possible, that's one way of eugenics. The other way is to get people voluntarily who have the genes that you don't like to go and delete their children in mass by the millions. That's a perfect, successful eugenics program, and it's Planned Parenthood, right? That's what that is. That's why they're trying to defund that from American taxpayers' dollars paying for those baby deletions, because more people in the country don't agree with what they're doing. Right. And and black women, for the 20 million people that have been deleted since 1973, the way the community is now, I'm almost saying I can't imagine how many of the bad stuff would be exacerbated by how many more kids would be alive. But then again, on the positive side, the doctors, the lawyers, the potential presidents, the potential CEOs, all of those poet laureates, men, women, all those people just gone because of some bullshit, right? That's eugenics. If I was an Aryan race guy, part of my eugenics program was to sell liberal women, especially black ones, that it's better to delete your children. Matter of fact, I wish I saved the commercial because I heard the big bag from Georgia. What's her name? She kept trying to run for governor. She said one of the best ways for women to, be economically sound is to get rid of their kids. I'm paraphrasing. I saw her say that shit on TV. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So let's stop with the eugenics shit, okay? Because the program is alive and well. That's why 70% of those Planned Parenthoods is where you live, in your neighborhoods. So let's stop the bullshit, okay?
Sydney Sweeney's fucking big racist dad. God almighty, she must know what she's saying. And she's so pretty, and you're like, did someone offer you sweets and you're just in the van? Like, is this what's happening, or do you know what you're saying? It's so racist. It's so her blue. And I hope to God you're just tick. And not tick in the American way, tick in the Irish way. Like a few sandwiches short of the fucking picnic, Sydney Sweeney. Good Lord above. Sort your life.
Don't forget to boycott American Eagle for their racist shit online, talking about blue jeans and white people. Boycott American Eagle. Boycott the shit out of them. Boycott American Eagle. Do not buy them. And cancel this person, Miss Sweeney. Cancel for her being racist, for doing Nazi propaganda. Cancel American Eagle.
Someone who grew up in a very rural Appalachian town and wanted to escape all of the sentiments that entails, this Sydney Sweeney commercial is so embarrassing. Unfortunately, you can't argue with people who tout those beliefs because they...
What made you put a bull ring nose in your nose and pierce your septum? What made you do that? I mean, how is your life really going? Can't be going that well because you're worrying about a lady in jeans.
Lack critical thinking skills. So I think we should just start shaming them instead. You are an embarrassment, Sydney Sweeney. Go back to school or do some ayahuasca or something, because that brain ain't braining too well, is it, girl?
Yeah, I mean, she did a lot of critical things. She did a lot of critical thinking to put the bull ring in her nose. I bet. Okay. So here's living a good life.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to continue our coverage of the controversy surrounding the Sydney Sweeney has good genes ad campaign from American Eagle, which I think is one of the best ad campaigns that we've seen in a long time. Okay, it is very symbolic of the fact that the culture war has now shifted in favor of conservatives, in favor of traditional American values. Okay, the things that we grew up all knowing and loving. Okay, skinny white women.
Listen, this is Greg Foreman, right? His channel is called A Conservative Perspective, and it's pretty good, right? He's he tries to be fair on both sides, but he's a young guy. He almost has, I don't know, maybe almost 1 million subs, a little bit less. So he's rocking, man. He's on a lot of this political stuff. So y'all can go to his channel, see the rest of this. All I'm just trying to say, he has some good takes on this, and he's like me. I didn't need to see him to have the position that I have. But now that I'm off the plantation, I've been seeking out more conservative commentators everywhere. And it's not like I don't listen to the horse shit, on the liberal side. I got to stay fresh on the nonsense that they're talking about. And I just can't believe I was such an asshole for so much of my life. I don't know why I was just like most black people couldn't see that this okie doke. Because some of the Democrats, they really morphed into this far left shit kind of recently, right? So the Hillary Clintons were like somehow they were more, bulldog Democrats, right? You know, they wanted war and killing and all that. But then the people who like all of that degenerate shit started to climb up in the ranks. And, you know, and here they are. They want to take over the whole country, you know. So I was, this guy is my guy. I like this guy. He's one of the conservative guys I like to talk about. So, you know, so I don't know. Anybody have any conversation on what they think? Put it in the chat if you don't want to come up. All right, so I see you, Curtis. Thanks. Another one, $4.99. Oh, yeah. See what I'm saying, Payne? Out of all those crows in the vid, not one of them was attractive. Yeah, you're right. And it's true. It's true. Even if they are attractive, because there was one attractive woman in Greg Foreman's video, but I'm not going to show her. I want to go on to this sister I want all of y'all guys to know about. She really is, I don't know whether she's trying to be the Timu, I don't want to kind of disparage her, but the up-and-coming replacement for Candace Owens. And maybe when I say replacement, just another voice in the wind about conservative, but I think she's never really been on the other side. She can't stand what's going on in the Black community. So she got her hands on this particular situation and she has a nice little spin on it. But I know a lot of people don't know who she is, or maybe they do. But Carmen JC, I want to play a little bit of hers, and then I'm going to go in and show you how some other people deal with this Gene ad, you know, and they're not going crazy over it, you know. So well, let's deal with a little bit of Carmen JC. So I'm not talking. Let me take this down.
My genes are blue.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color.
I keep thinking that people just are not going to believe us until we're hung out there. But then even then, I feel like they'll be like, oh, no.
Traveled to Africa last year.
I did.
And you changed your eye color to gray. Now,
I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is why that town is being built. This is exactly why Return to the Land exists, because people are tired of the emotional blackmail from the woke mob. And I'm just going to put it out there. If you're going to.
This is Carmen JC. And she's on YouTube, but she came over from TikTok because I know she has a lot of trouble over there. So she came over here. She still probably got her channels over there. But she's here on TikTok, on YouTube, and she's got over 100,000 subs and got there real quick.
Call white people racist. Be honest, they are reacting to behavior. They're reacting to how a certain group of people tend to act. Everybody in this country can be loud, proud, and unapologetic unless you're white. In a country that's majority white, might I add, that is a double standard. People are over the fake outrage. They're sick of seeing whiteness treated like a crime while everyone else gets celebrated like royalty. And this whole meltdown over Sydney Sweeney and American Eagle, it proves my point. What am I talking about? You know what? Just take a listen.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has very genes. Sydney Sweeney has very genes.
So let me get this straight. This is what you guys are upset about. This is what all the hype is about. A blonde hair, blue-eyed girl in jeans. That is the crisis. Now, can we be effing for real? people in the Black community, especially, are acting like American Eagle owes them some type of reparations, as if the average Black American woman is walking around in American Eagle jeans. This is actually pretty comical. Like, how many pair of jeans do you guys own? Because the fake outrage over a brand that you guys do not support is pathetic. And honestly, stuff like this makes me want to go spend my money at American Eagle just to say thank you for not bowing down to this woke mob, this cancel culture, because this is quite ridiculous, if you ask me. White people aren't doing anything to you. They're just existing in a country that now shames them for being white. But no, that's not enough. You want every band, you want every campaign, every billboard to revolve around you, or else it's a problem. And that is not a us thing. That is an insecurity thing. It screams envy. It screams, I hate myself. And you don't have to tear other people down to feel valid. And if you do, that's a you problem. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I am Carmen JZ. Make sure you hit the like button, drop a super thanks, or click the buy me a coffee link below if you want to.
Yeah, listen, she did use a term that doesn't get used enough, specifically towards Black women, all right? Because white liberal women have their own problems, but Black women, the incessant inferiority complex is just too much. The hatred, the jealousy, and the envy over white women is just too much. It's just too much. I mean, there was a lady who lost a wig on the WNBA floor. They stopped the game. They kicked a fan out for laughing, right? Because she lost her wig. And the games are unwatchable with all that fake hair flying around anyway. You know, and the point really is it's just too much. It's the sensitivity, the need to be constantly affirmed and reaffirmed and adorned and just praised. I think the worst thing that anybody ever called a Black woman was a queen. In America, we don't have kings and queens. The king is bad enough. We don't have kings and queens here. You know, because it's just false sense of shit, man, that everybody needs. And now this stupid ad has, I mean, you go on TikTok, you could probably get Sydney Sweeney, you know, alcoholism, because it's just so many women, one after one. And I'm going to show you one woman who just took it over the edge. But let's hear a little bit more about from Carmen.
Support the channel. Now let's get into what the hell is going on. Now, I would imagine that Black women wouldn't have anything to say about what American Eagle is doing, because that would actually be not just wild, it would be pathetic, okay? Now, with that level of disrespect for any brand, why would anyone in their right mind want to market towards you? Like, why would they want you in their clothes when you act like strippers and street trash inside of their stores? Let's be honest, you don't elevate the brand, you drag it down, you make it look cheap, you bring the nastiest energy to these companies, and then have the nerve to cry about not being represented in a campaign. When you put something on and behave like this, the value drops, okay? And nobody wants to associate themselves with dysfunction and filth. And unfortunately, that's exactly what too many of y'all are out here showcasing while wearing these brands. So no, American Eagle doesn't owe you a goddamn thing. In fact, they should be praised for not bowing down to this performative outrage. And if that hurts your feelings, well, good. Because this fake victimhood, stripper culture, attention-seeking mindset is the reason you're not being marketed to. You made the brand look bad. You did that and not them. And I'm just going to tell you how it is, plain and simple. You don't bring value to anything. White women bring value to these brands. That's why they're being marketed to. And no, it is not about race. It is about behavior. I feel like I'm a freaking like robot. Just it's about the difference in how certain groups carry themselves. Anywhere in the world, they will elevate the space, and that is just the truth. They bring value, they bring image, they bring influence, and that doesn't revolve around ass shaking in a retail store. Unfortunately, you drop a group of white women in the middle of Chicago on any block, and I guarantee you the property value goes up. You can't say that about Black women, though. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. It's cold. It's hard. I get it. Okay? Because the culture is completely broken. The behavior is reckless, and brands aren't going to invest in chaos. They're looking to protect their image. Now, about 10 years ago, give or take, the rapper T.I., Crime Stoppers T.I., his wife, Tiny, went and surgically changed her eye color. Not contact lenses. She literally flew overseas to have a procedure done to make her eyes like a light, icy gray color, which is like a between a gray and like a blue. She actually did that, but don't take my word for it. Go ahead and take a listen to her explain it herself. Take a listen.
You traveled to Africa last year.
I did.
And you changed your eye color to gray. Now, I want to know what made you want to do that, and how did your family feel about that?
I mean, I do crazy things sometimes, and I just was
And you're
like,
so subtle about it.
I changed my iris. I want to know what's going on in Africa. You got your eyes changed?
I was looking it up I had been like researching it for like 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
And and at first, when I first saw it, I was like, I'm doing this. And
Incessant inferiority complex. It just doesn't end. It just doesn't end. So we have this issue in our community. Black men have their issues, but Black women, for your part in it, the psychosis is real. I mean, it's real, it's pervasive, and it dominates the way y'all think and the way y'all vote. It just does. It's like hive mind, and it's just unbelievable.
And I kind of was scared, and I just wanted to wait and see how it worked, years later. And once I started back doing the research, I seen that no one had went blind. I know a couple incidents, but those were outside of where I went. The people that I went to, I made sure that they hadn't had any kind of problems, any kind of difficult surgeries. And they had some people to reverse them, which is another reason why I was like, okay, so if I don't agree with them, if they don't work, I can take them out.
I do want some hazel. I want mine having some hazel.
Oh, but wait, it didn't stop there. Her daughter, Zonique, ended up getting the same surgery because she liked how her mother's eyes look. Only problem is her daughter's surgery didn't go as smooth. She had complications and it didn't turn out the same. Let's go ahead and take a listen to that too.
My eyes start bothering me. You could possibly go blind.
What? And it's not just them. I've seen.
Well, let's go. I'm going to stop this here, okay? You can go to her channel, check out. She has a lot of stuff she says about a lot of different issues. Some things you might agree with, some things you won't agree with, of course, if we're trapped, especially mentally. But the truth of the matter is we're in bad shape. I mean, if y'all saw this, Anton Jannings had this video of a guy opening a store, and he was going to give out free wigs, and they call them bundles, right? Wigs, lashes, and some other shit in a bundle. And if you saw the pouring of the Black women and the unruliness, he couldn't even open the store to give the stuff out. That's how crazy it was. They had to call the police. They had to do everything, and people just wanted a free bundle. And they were going crazy out there. It was absolutely pathetic and shameful. They were out there in bonnets and night clothes and slippers, and just, man, I'm saying, wait a minute, man. Just that's what people get projected around the world, around the country. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of these reasons why they would hate a clean-cut little white girl in some jeans, because it's an antithesis of the way people want to behave and look. So anyway, this is Carmen. You can go check out her channel. She has a lot to say about these kind of things. But what I want y'all to understand is that not everybody is crazy about this thing. It's going crazy. And I'm going to show you somebody who doesn't have a problem with this at all. Hey, Curtis Moore, thanks a lot for the other 5 spot, man. $4.99. The queen term has become so diluted. It's terrible. It's like referring to a woman as a regular female. It's true. I mean, just the way it's used and misused is crazy. It really is. You got to do something virtuous to be a queen. You got to have some kind of power. I mean, there's no power in it, but just you can't just be self-destructive, and call yourself a queen. So that's one of the biggest problems I see. All right, so listen, there is a response from the Asian community on this very thing. Okay. There is a response, and I want to play that for you. And I'm gonna make sure I do it right so y'all could actually see it. All right, so let me do this. A response from the Asian community about this very situation. All right.
Handed down from my parents before me and their parents before them. My genes are yellow.
Tiffany Fong has yellow genes.
She's signed too. One more time. All right. Yeah, that's Tiffany Fong, right? So not everybody is going crazy about this thing. She just made her own ad. Right? Hey, I got yellow jeans. Right? It'd been nice if a sister just put on a nice jean outfit, American Eagle or not, and just says, we got nice jeans. Just don't, it don't have to come out with, there's still a lot of beautiful Black women out there, right? Who are not augmented by bullshit, right? Any of them could have put on some jeans and just made a commercial and said, I got great jeans. Especially if they didn't have some stinking ass wig on and fake eyelashes. Come out as a regular woman and just say, hey, you know what? I love the way I am. Now, I just got to say, I know people brag on their own kids. My kids are part of the world too. But the one thing I admire about my daughters, they are comfortable in their Black skin and their hair. They take time to take care of it. You'll never see them out in bonnets because their mother would never do that. So it's just one of those kind of things. So maybe it was a little bit of me because I wouldn't have stood for it. But there's another lady. Here's the Black response that I picked out. It's one of the worst ones, but I picked it out just to fire for effect because I have to say that the average Black woman is not like this. But I'm going to show her anyway. All right, so I got to share it. All right, so here it is. And I got to turn this up a little bit, but, you guys ain't going to like this one. Right. Yeah, let me do it.
Down. Mines are blue. First of all, you don't get denim blue without Black hands, without Black knowledge. So why are they still
It's frozen.
centering whiteness to sell us something that we literally built? The iconic denim blue wouldn't exist without.
She's got a double whammy. She's got a nose ring, the bull ring, and his horns. Now, I've looked at her closely. Those horns come off, thank God. She has them fixed on there. That's not, she doesn't have them like built from her face. But, I mean, come on, sis. Who's marrying her? Anybody out there marrying this woman?
Without indigo. And indigo didn't grow here. Indigo was brought here along with the people who knew how to grow it, how to ferment it, and how to turn it into dye. That deep blue.
I bet like this. So the racists and white supremacists stopping to comment have a chance to kiss my ass. Yeah, you give us a good ass fight because you got a big back, but you know it's only a half ass.
Our ancestors mastered it long before white people knew what to do.
Jesus Christ.
And when Europeans realized that, they didn't ask us. They enslaved us for the knowledge, not just the labor. That knowledge was stolen, and it built their empire. Before cotton, indigo was one of the first cash crops in America, and it made white families rich. It helped to fund colonies. And every drop of that blue was pulled from Black bodies, Black intellect, and Black labor. So when American Eagle uses Sydney Sweeney to sell great jeans, they're not selling jeans, they're selling erasure. And for what?
Oh my God. You know, listen, I just can't take too much more. They're selling erasure, right? And you know what? Some of the things she says might have some fact to it, but you know, it's like, all right, put it in a history book and have people read it. You think American Eagle said, let me go back and see where indigo came from, and I'm gonna put a white girl in jeans. White girls have been in jeans for what, a century now? You know, so it's just crazy. Just crazy. I can't take no more of her either. You know, so I just don't know where people are going with this thing, man. You know, this is Snow Bunny channel. This not a Snow Bunny. What's going on, world class? So these are the people reacting to the jean commercial, of course. So here's one thing I have for all of y'all about American Eagle and how much I think that folks have gotten it wrong, because I have somebody that they're showcasing in her own jean commercial, and she's got great jeans. Right, so stay tuned. All right, let's do it. Let's do this, because we're going to play this one all the way through. Just in case you're saying it's just all about white supremacy and all of this shit. Okay.
Goes. Sorry.
We got some.
Hey guys, I'm
Don't stop on me now.
Coco, and we're here in Miami on the way to my collab shoot with American Eagle, and we've been working on this collection for some time now, and I can't wait for you guys to see it, and hope you guys enjoy following me around for the day. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. You're so sweet. Thank you.
Thanks for coming today.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for having me.
Wow, guys, this looks great. So cool, right?
Wearing it every day. Yeah, I would. I'm like, maybe I should bring it to Europe. One detail on the inside is like they included the purple thread, which is like all throughout the inside of the jacket. This purple is my favorite color. And then silver hardware, because I usually wear silver jewelry. And then the back, it's a quote that I said at US Open. Honestly, thank you to the people who didn't believe in me. I mean, it's something that came out in the speech. It wasn't planned or anything.
Mark. And action. And happy drums. Go. And Coco.
Gonna do a top down leg. love that. So pretty. We just finished up some like indoor shots. Now we're outside serving in this outfit that's supposed to mimic a tennis outfit. And yeah, the shot is like an overhead view, or under it's like a shot of me like serving with like the blue sky and everything, and it's supposed to look pretty. Pretty.
Action.
Sorry, John.
Hey,
Yes. Yeah, it's going. It's giving me a lot of problems.
I just assumed that everybody.
All right. So Anissa asked me, what's this about? This is about, in contrast to everybody saying American Eagle is racist because they had a white girl in jeans, they have a full photo shoot with Coco Gauff, who has good jeans, in jeans that they sell. So this whole notion that they're just trying to exclude blacks and all this other horse shit, that's what this whole thing is about. So, you know, the Snow Bunny in jeans that everybody's going crazy on social media about, well, you know what, it's all misguided. American Eagle is not trying to get rid of black people and Nazis and all that horse shit, right? They're not into eugenics or anything like that. Planned Parenthood is, though. And I just wanted to showcase that at the end with Coco Gauff. They have a full photo shoot with her in their jeans because they endorse her. You know what I'm saying? And you know what? The athlete that she is, you could probably pretty much say that Coco Gauff has good genes. You know? So that's why I put it up there. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying. So in contrast to all the horse shit that's all over the internet, American Eagle is just another company trying to sell products. You know, and that's it. And and like I said, it's all good as far as I'm concerned. And I just wanted to bring that to the attention here that, you know, not all black people are like triggered by this ad. Not even most of us. Most people are just saying it's another jean ad. Maybe some people say, well, I don't like their fit anyway. But some people say, yeah, I want to shop there. But it has nothing to do with race or color because they had, like I said, I showcased, they had 2019, they had a whole ad dedicated to big fat black women. So the point really is that they're just trying to sell product. And now that the woke mob doesn't have control of the airwaves like they used to, they're bringing back marketing to white folks, you know, directly. And you know what? But that doesn't exclude anybody else from buying a jean, because if you look good and you're petite and you want some jeans, you can go to American Eagle, just like Coco Gauff has. So anyway, this wasn't going to be a long show because I know everybody beat this shit to death. And I just wanted to do my part to say, hey, listen, we should, you know, as black folks, we need to grow up and get over ourselves a little bit. So I got one more thing for you. Like I said, I was going to do, I got, so some of y'all might get mad, but of course, BMU hates my music, but that's cool because it's, you know, it's AI generated, even though I manipulate the words, I must say. But this one I think is banging, and everybody should have fun with it. And after this, I'm going to just say good night to everybody a little bit more, because this is going to be a short show. You know, there's not too much to discuss that hasn't been discussed already, except that I believe that liberal women, white women, and black women who have this unfucking dying inferiority complex need to grow up and get over it. I really wish, you know, if that's one thing I wish I could see, that's what I would like to see for it. Whether you're like black men or ever get over your contempt for us or not, get over that inferiority complex, please. It's killing y'all. All right. Here it is. All right, so I'm going to leave y'all with this, my latest tune that I think you guys will like. Okay.
glide so free. Snow bunnies dancing, pure ecstasy. With the chill in the air and sparkles in the sky. On the night while winter wings sigh. Hearts racing high in the winter's embrace. These snow bunnies take over the place. Snow bunnies take over, lighting the dark, turning the chill into something that sparks. Under the stars, they dance till the dawn. In this winter wonderland, magic is born. Whispers of laughter, shadows so light, painting the world in shades of white. The spirit ignites a warmth in the cold. Stories of love and glimmers unfold. With every twirl, they break the night. Snow bunnies shine, a beautiful sight. Snow bunnies take over, light in the dark, turning the chill into something that sparks. Under the stars, they dance till the dawn. In this winter wonderland, magic is born. So let the snow fall, let the good times roll. Snow bunnies forever, dancing in our sun. Good find you. So body forever, I'm thanks and then I'm so.
Right. So listen, let me end that, and let me just say to everybody out there that this whole thing is going to blow over. Of course, Sydney Sweeney, no, there's not going to be a boycott that's going to be effective. And if you really got triggered by that commercial or the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, you got to check your insecurities at the door, because you can't live life like that. We're not under attack, for being black. We're not. We gotta also look at ourselves as more than just our skin color. There's a whole bunch of black folks out there with great genes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, great genes. I mean, how many black folks' sons and daughters are athletic because their mother and fathers were? I mean, not only just athletic, but athletic enough to become, pro basketball players, pro tennis players, singers. Because, yeah, genes do get passed down. And they get passed down not only from whites to whites, but from blacks to black. Intellectually, all that kind of stuff. So, we're part of this bio ecosystem. And if you live right and you raise your kids right in the right environment, and you have genes that are people who are smart, most likely your kids are going to be smart too. If they're talented, most likely you're going to be talented. I mean, we see it all over the place. I think we just ignore it. So, stupid genes ad with Sydney Sweeney is just overplayed, but it's something to talk about in social media, so I just wanted to say, hey, listen, this is my little foray into it. I had fun. My little Snow Bunny music was ode to Dr. Omar, because I think he's I might be wrong, but I think he's the guy who coined the phrase Snow Bunny. I've never heard it before. He just kept saying it. And I think as a derogatory term, that's probably one of the best ones for somebody, Snow Bunny. Anyway, That's all I have for tonight. Thanks for everybody who showed up, you know, and I'm sure everybody's seen this ad and, you know, seen so many videos and reactions to it. So this was just one more, you know. So with that, I'm gonna just say good night to everybody, and you know, and good night from the Black Man Unfiltered Network. And until next time, we'll have another juicy thing coming up and something to talk about next Monday. Anyway, with that, have everybody have a good night. I'm out of here.